closing. Now, before we dive into the offer page, which I know everyone's chomping at the bit for, realize this, guys. Closing starts the click before you go into the closing page. So it starts when we go through the buying down question, where we ask Joe, out of all the great benefits, if he could only choose one, which is the most important for him and his family. And now when we ask that question, this gives us a chance to really pick his brain. This might be the first time him and Mary are having an open conversation about it. So this is going to be just as productive for her as it is for you as the agent, as it is for Joe to articulate what's going on in his mind. So when you ask this question, wait for the answer, get the answer. I want to ask why, just like the script says, because I'm interested on why Joe thinks that the final expenses or the income or the college or the mortgage, why that's the most important. All right, then we're going to repeat the process with Mary. And as we go through this, we want to level with them and agree with them where it's like, yeah, you know what? Most mothers, most husbands, most members, they say the same thing. That's obviously a very important benefit. And then we're going to finish off the buying down question by saying, now the good news is that based on the $5 question, we should be able to get everything taken care of, but worst case scenario, we'll make sure those two benefits are taken care of for you guys. So now as the agent, where this becomes really powerful is that we know going into the offer page, we know what they're thinking. We know what's the most important. Last ditch effort, no matter what, we're going to be leaving with Joe and Mary getting the two most important things minimally as a starter program. So at this point, you hit continue, you go into the offer page. And like I said, you're feeling pretty good. You know what they're thinking. At this point, you know they need it. You know they want it. It's really just coming down to affordability. So like we talked about before, this is where it comes time to relax. You don't want to get too nervous. You don't want to get too stressed out. You don't want to change your body language or your facial expressions really all that much. If anything, you want to be a little bit more low key because now we're almost there. We're almost arrived. So we get to the offer page, and we're going to keep it very simple. All right, so just to recap, we're able to take care of your funeral and final expenses. We're going to hit the click continue button. Click next benefit. All right, you're going to click that button. Your income is protected, so your family's lifestyle won't have to change. Click next benefit button. Your mortgage is taken care of. Click the next benefit button, and as you do this, you're going to see the next benefit pop up, and the college education is assured as well for your kids. You're going to hit click continue. Click the continue button. So here's where, guys, you'll notice the bottom of the offer page kind of lights up a little bit. It shows the additional riders. It'll show the non-inflation options. Some of you guys, based on your computer settings, that might show the price in the first place. Either which way, a couple of tips. If it is a family plan and they do have kids, then yes, we do want to explain the child rider. That's an important piece of the program. Whether they have one child or they have 16, it's going to provide a $10,000 life insurance policy for each one of their kids that stays with them until they're 21 years old. All right, which at that point, they can convert it to up to $50,000 worth of coverage that they don't have to prove insurability for. All right, other than that, the terminal illness rider or the accelerated death benefit and the layoff waiver and the strike waiver, personally, I keep it simple. I don't explain those at the offer page. I'm going to explain them later after I made the sale so the client knows what it is. But in the meantime, I want to keep it as simple as possible to get to that yes or a no without clouding their mind with so much information. Regardless, if you want to do that, that's up to you if you want to explain it. But no matter what, and I would write this down, put it in bold, highlight it, star it, do whatever you got to do. Don't click the link so it opens up the paperwork for it. All right, if you click the link, it's going to open up a description of what the terminal illness rider is, and then it's going to open up what the layoff waiver does and the stipulations, and same thing with the strike waiver. So my recommendation, and I strongly suggest this, don't click the actual riders. If you're going to explain them briefly and then move on. But just do not click and open them. It's just going to be a distract from the client. Instead of listening to you, they're going to be reading off of your screen. So that's a big no-no. At that point, now it's very simple, guys. The closing question is, as long as it all makes sense, do you want to start with what the program recommends as you're taking your mouse and you're circling the big green price there? So do you want to go with what the program recommends, or do you want to put in a little bit more and get a lot more protection for your family? And at that point, you just be quiet, you sit back, you wait for them to make a decision. First one to speak loses. And then from there, we're going to dive into down closing next. So if they do say no, or if they say yes, where to go from there.